wearing pink pajamas, a bed full of cute dolls. Men are not really effeminate, it's just because he looked at the red moon in the sky. Zhang Hao crossed over to a world where men and women are reversed. The emperors here are all female. Men take care of the family and teach children. Women aspire to rule the world. Here, men are pretty and delicate. Women work hard to support their families. Men are naturally weak and lack endurance, making the world favor women over men. The gap between the two sides is getting wider. Now every man is a delicate little lamb, always wary of women who want to eat meat. Even the representative of tough men in Zhang Hao's impression, long brother with tattooed arms who asks him to work out together every day, has become a flower boy with dyed yellow hair. Their hobbies have also changed to shopping, and they always want to hold his arm, sometimes saying they want to buy face masks, and then saying they want to do their nails, and they even worry that their handsome looks will attract female thugs. Zhang Hao feels like his values are being shattered, buying face masks. Just kill me with a knife while you're at it. To remind himself that he's a real man, Zhang Hao goes to a tattoo shop. As soon as he enters, he shouts, "Give me a huge dragon tattoo. Let me show you what a real man looks like." The tattoo artist glances at him and sneers, "Little boy, tattoos are easy to learn but hard to master. You should go home." Zhang Hao can't stand such contempt. He takes off his shirt and challenges the tattoo artist to see what a perfect body with 8-pack abs looks like. The two women turn their heads and sudden nosebleeds spray everywhere as they look at Zhang Hao's exposed body. Zhang Hao then starts throwing money around like crazy. Only Long Brother is trying to maintain a good image for his female friends. After the chaos, Zhang Hao returns home in a daze, pushing the door open and seeing a beautiful woman sitting inside, who warmly greets him. He can hardly believe his eyes with her looks and figure at his home. Until they sat together at the same table to eat, Zhang Hao didn't hear his dad explain that the girl in his stepmom's house is Zhang Qianqing, his stepsister on paper. When he heard the word stepsister, a flash of insight hit Zhang Hao's brain. Yes, his dad had remarried. From now on, they would all live together. However, there was something strange in the stepsister's eyes. So he made an excuse to finish eating first and went back to his room, lying on his bed, beginning to doubt his life. Even Long Brother and his dad had become effeminate. Would he become like that too? He heard that men in this world need to abide by the husband's way, and they have a monthly menstrual cycle. What kind of joke is this parallel world playing? Angry, Zhang Hao threw the teddy bear in his hand, but it hit Zhang Ganqin, who was coming in the door. He felt a little embarrassed for a moment. Who knew that his stepsister was walking towards him with a gentle tone, asking, How, do you miss your sister?" Zhang Hao wanted to say yes, but his mouth was blocked. After being tackled by his older sister, Zhang Hao gave up resistance, believing that a real man should be flexible. However, after he fell asleep, a shadow suddenly appeared in the room. Drowsy, Zhang Hao thought it was his sister playing a nocturnal prank, but when he opened his eyes, he saw a strange, red-haired beauty. Startled, he quickly shrank back into the corner. "Don't you recognize me?" the woman asked with a sly smile. Suddenly, Zhang Hao remembered that the woman was the blood moon goddess who had sent him to the other world because he didn't have a girlfriend. Zhang Hao was on the verge of going crazy and begged the goddess to send him back, but she gave him a wicked smile and said he could return on the condition that he completes her mission, to be a pure man in the other world. If he fails, he will be assimilated into the other world, becoming like a feminine man. Zhang Hao couldn't bear the thought of becoming like that and begged the goddess to help him find a way back to his own world. However, when he woke up the next day, he was faced with the difficulty of becoming a pure man in a world where men go through a period of weakness when they lose their virginity. He felt helpless lying on the floor, but then he thought of the blood moon as a clue. If a scientist discovered a similar astronomical phenomenon, he might have a chance to return home. However, as an ordinary person, how could he meet these technological geniuses? Zhang Hao felt hopeless, but his mood improved when he saw the sister cook breakfast for him with a cute blink of her eyes. He began to feel that this world was not so bad after all and decided to stay a little longer. Long Brother pouts his lips, blissfully showing off this year's new lipstick. Zhang Hao restrained him with a glance. Hugging Long Brother's shoulders, he says he wants to be a real man. A real man can't wear lipstick. How did you become like this? Long Brother wipes away tears coyly. The next second, they notice a female hooligan. Immediately frightened and losing their composure, grabbing Zhang Hao's arm nervously, he tells him there is a pervert peeking. "We're two grown men, we're not afraid of him. Don't worry, if he catches up, I'll kick him away." How, you can't even lift a brick. Let's take the long way." After saying that, he takes Zhang Hao's hand and runs to school. They run too fast, and their makeup is smudged. Zhang Hao is exhausted. He couldn't help but wonder, are all men in this world so weak? Looking around, it is true that girls are doing most of the physical labor. Men either hold hands and chat, or they are pinned against the wall by a girl confessing their love. Back in class, boys ask girls for help. "I can't open this bottle cap. Can you help me?" Zhang Hao is speechless. "You, a grown man, can't even open a bottle of water. You're such a weakling." So he confidently walks up to the boy. He snatches the water bottle and shows off his true skill. "Why won't it open? It must be the way I'm opening it." Zhang Hao takes a deep breath and transforms into a Super Saiyan. He screams, "Open sesame!" With exaggerated movements, he startles both classmates, but the cap remains stubbornly sealed. His fingers turn red from twisting it so hard. In the awkward silence, Zhang Hao excuses himself and walks away. Unexpectedly, "I have become a weakling who can't even open a bottle cap, and I can't stand even a second in this world." He lay on the table, feeling really weak, but suddenly a group of girls came over and asked, "What's wrong, handsome? Do you need me to help you open the bottle cap?" Their gaze made Zhang Hao feel even more embarrassed, and he wanted to go back in time. He didn't even want to do the task given by the goddess anymore. Finally, he made it to the end of the class, and just as Zhang Hao was about to leave to get some fresh air, Long Brother shouted behind him, "Wait for me. Hao, let's go to the bathroom together." Zhang Hao was surprised that even guys went to the bathroom together, but he wondered if it was because Long Brother wanted to help him out. Zhang Hao couldn't stand this kind of life anymore and realized he had to toughen up, so he decided to take a class to exercise. However, his female classmate Huang Yuan suddenly approached him and asked, "What are you doing? Are you not sending messages to a girl you like?" Zhang Hao glanced at her and knew that Huang Yuan was up to something. He quickly pushed her away, blushing, saying that men and women shouldn't get too close. Huang Yuan grabbed Zhang Hao's little hand and squeezed it between her breasts, saying that his hands were really beautiful. Zhang Hao couldn't believe that his classmate had done such a bold thing and quickly withdrew his hand, reminding Huang Yuan to be careful not to affect anyone else. Huang Yuan was curious and asked, "Hey, you were never like this before. Did you not sleep well? Do you want me to give you a massage to wake you up?" Then she flashed a flirtatious smile and pounced on him. What the heck? How can this woman have so much strength? Zhang Hao thought. Suddenly, the bell for class rang. Zhang Hao narrowly escaped a disaster. The homeroom teacher, Ms. Ma, asked everyone to take out their textbooks. At that moment, Zhang Hao was shocked, not because Ms. Ma was too pretty, but because he understood the content of the book at first glance. It turned out that after crossing over, he had gone from being a poor student to a top student. Thinking about the future, Zhang Hao was thrilled that Ms. Ma might frequently offer him tutoring. He prepared to answer a few more questions to impress the teacher. How touching. Sure enough, Ms. Ma called out his name. "Zhang Hao, are you feeling uncomfortable somewhere? Are the corners of your mouth twitching? Do you want to go to the medical room and have a look?" The whole class turned their attention to him. Zhang Hao quickly said he was fine and that the teacher must have mistaken him for someone else. However, his explanation sparked more discussion among his classmates. Why is he acting strange today? Did the school's heartthrob lose his charm? I heard he fell down a few days ago. Could he have hurt his brain? Zhang Hao endured until the end of the class before letting out a sigh of relief in front of his friend, Long Brother. He felt exhausted by all the attention and commotion in school. Zhang Hao and Long Brother hid in the cafeteria, where he finally understood why the boys in this world have no strength. It turned out that they only ate a little bit of food every time, but Long Brother thought that men should maintain their physique and eat less. Zhang Hao, who aspired to be a pure man, immediately said, "Auntie, don't shake your hands. Give me a big bowl of braised pork." Then another guy jumped out and bitterly said, "Look at Zhang Hao, pretending to be something he's not just because he has a good figure. He intentionally eats so much. He has no shame." Lu Feng from the next class also jumped out to ridicule him. "Eating so much and still so greasy. You look like an old migrant worker ant." Zhang Hao was very confused. Who is this person to come and mock himself? But Lu Feng spoke without a hint of malice. "The school's most handsome guy is really forgetful. Just a few days ago we were still good girlfriends. Have you gained weight again after just a few days of not seeing you?" This kind of pretentious and annoying pretty boy really disgusts Zhang Hao. How can a man be such a bitch? Immediately, he showed a fierce look and questioned him. "On what grounds do you look down on migrant workers? Without them, you would still be sleeping on the streets picking up trash to eat." Just like that, with one sentence, he actually made Lu Feng cry with anger. He took out a handkerchief and wiped away his tears while crying. "I said that for your own good," he said. But he never expected Zhang Hao to treat him this way. The girl next to him watched him cry and chose to stand on Lu Feng's side. Zhang Hao had no masculine qualities, and Lu Feng was right. Seeing everyone supporting him, Lu Feng revealed a sinister smile. However, someone did not fall for his bitchy tricks. The captain of the school basketball team, Zhao Ling, came over with a plate and angrily confronted Lu Feng. "How much Hao eats is his own business and has nothing to do with you. Then, she turned to Zhang Hao and lovingly asked if he had eaten enough, and then brought over a large piece of meat. Seeing the two of them so sweet, the jealousy in Lu Feng's heart burned fiercely. Looking at the two of them, he was so angry he couldn't speak. If you have something to say, just say it. If you have something to fart, let it out quickly. If you think I eat too much, then shut up. Long Gu screamed when he heard these words. How can you be so disregarding of your image? But Xiaoling showed a smitten expression. This kind of wild and unrestrained little kitten. How, I really like you more and more. After confronting a rude boy, Zhang Hao had an idea. To be a real man in this world, he must do things that other men dare not do, such as approaching a beautiful girl. He noticed a cute girl by the window with white hair and white silk clothes, who looked like an iceberg beauty. Long, his buddy, told him that she was a new transfer student named Min Yuhua who didn't talk much and had no friends. As a lover of white hair, Zhang Hao immediately brought Long to meet Min Yuhua. He introduced himself as her classmate and confidently introduced his good friend Long to her, and reached out his hand to make friends. Finally, Min Yuhua showed a surprised expression and shook hands with Zhang Hao.